The vast expanse of space shimmered. A billion stars twinkled like celestial fireflies. Planets, both majestic and desolate, danced around their suns. Nebulae painted the void with vibrant hues, remnants of ancient cosmic events. It was a scene of awe-inspiring beauty. Yet amidst this grandeur, a shadow stirred. A fleet of warships, sleek and menacing, cut through the interstellar dust. They were the Zentai, a race driven by conquest. Their empire spanned hundreds of star systems, built on the subjugation of countless worlds. Their hunger for power was insatiable, their ambition boundless. Now their gaze had fallen on an unsuspecting Earth. The Zentai Emperor, Zorvac, watched from his flagship. He was a towering figure, clad in shimmering armor. His eyes, cold and calculating, burned with an icy fire. He had never encountered a race that could withstand his might. Earth, he believed, would be no different.
My lord, our sensors detect primitive life forms on the target planet. They pose no significant threat.
Zorvac smiled cruelly. He would crush this insignificant world and add its resources to his ever-growing empire. His order echoed through the fleet.
Prepare for orbital bombardment. Leave nothing but ashes.
On Earth, the warning sirens wailed. The news of the approaching alien fleet spread like wildfire, sparking fear and panic. But deep within a secure command center, Admiral James Raw, Earth's last hope, remained calm. He was a seasoned veteran, his face etched with the wisdom of countless battles. His eyes, though filled with concern, held a glint of steel.
Sir, the Zentai fleet, they outnumber us 10-1. Their technology, it's far superior.
Raw raised a hand, silencing the officer's fears.
They may have the numbers, Lieutenant, but they have underestimated one thing, the human spirit. We will fight for our home, for our families, for our very survival.
Section 4. Hidden Strength. Unbeknownst to the Zentai, Earth had been preparing for this day. Hidden beneath the desolate surface of the moon, a secret fleet of warships stood ready. Years of research and development had gone into their creation. These ships were faster, more agile, and armed with experimental weaponry. They were Earth's secret weapon. And on Mars, amidst the red dust and ancient canyons, another fleet awaited the call to arms. These ships were larger, designed for sustained combat. Their crews, hardened by years of training in the Martian deserts, were eager to face the enemy. Earth's fate rested on their shoulders. Section 5. Vengeance is coming. Aboard the flagship, Captain Ava Sanchez addressed her crew. She was young, but her eyes reflected a fierce determination. The crew, a mixture of veterans and rookies, hung on her every word.
We're about to face an enemy unlike any we have ever encountered. They believe they are superior. They believe they are invincible. We will prove them wrong. We will fight with every fiber of our being. We will show them what it means to defend your home for Earth.
A roar of approval echoed through the ship's intercom. The crew of the was ready. The battle for Earth was about to begin. Gap 3S. The first shots were fired, lighting up the void of space. Admiral Raw's fleet moved with precision, engaging the Zentai warships. Explosions rocked the battlefield as both sides exchanged heavy fire. The clash of titans had begun. Earth's defenders, driven by resolve, faced off against the Zentai invaders. Admiral Raw, calm but firm. All units maintain formation. Focus fire on their lead ships. Zorvac watched from his flagship, his expression unreadable. He had underestimated the humans, but he would not make that mistake again. Zorvac, cold and calculating. Prepare the main cannon, target their flagship. This battle will end now. As the Zentai flagship's cannon powered up, a sense of dread washed over the human fleet. But Captain Sanchez, aboard Earth's flagship, remained undeterred. Captain Sanchez, defiant. All hands, prepare for evasive maneuvers. We will not let them break us. With every fiber of their being, the defenders of Earth braced for the onslaught. The true test of their resolve was about to unfold. Gap 3S. Just as the Zentai's main cannon charged, a new fleet emerged from the shadows. It was Sparky and his team, Earth's secret weapon. Their ships, equipped with advanced cloaking technology, took the Zentai by surprise. All ships, focus fire on their flagship. The tide of battle began to turn in humanity's favor. The Zentai fleet, caught off guard, scrambled to respond. Sparky's ships weaved through the chaos, their precision strikes crippling the Zentai's defenses. We have them on the ropes. Push forward! Admiral Raw's fleet, reinvigorated by the arrival of their allies, pressed the attack. Explosions lit up the void as the Zentai flagship struggled to maintain its power. Zorvak's cold demeanor faltered, realizing he had underestimated the humans once more. "We can do this, for Earth, for our future!" With renewed hope and determination, Earth's defenders pushed forward, turning the tide of the battle. The Zentai, once a seemingly unstoppable force, now faced the full might of humanity's resolve. GAP 3S. The Zentai flagship was heavily damaged, but Zorvak refused to retreat. He ordered his remaining ships to form a defensive perimeter. Admiral Ra knew this was their chance to end the war. "All ships, concentrate your fire." The final stand had begun. The fate of Earth hung in the balance. The Zentai forces, though battered and bruised, fought with a desperate ferocity. Their defensive perimeter was formidable, but Earth's fleet, fueled by determination and the hope of survival, pressed on relentlessly. "We can't let up now! This is our moment!" Explosions erupted across the battlefield as both sides exchanged devastating blows. The Zentai flagship's shields flickered and failed, exposing its vulnerable core. Zorvak, realizing the end was near, made a final, desperate gamble. "All units, target their core. This ends now." The combined firepower of Earth's fleet focused on the exposed core. With a blinding flash, the Zentai flagship was engulfed in flames, signaling the end of the invasion. Cheers erupted across the fleet as the realization of their victory set in. The war was over, but the cost had been high. Humanity had faced the brink of extinction and emerged victorious. The galaxy would remember this day, not just as a triumph of technology, but of the indomitable human spirit. GAP 3S. The Zentai flagship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The remaining Zentai ships scattered, retreating into the void. Earth had won, but at a great cost. Admiral Ra looked at the battlefield, littered with the wreckage of both human and Zentai ships. "We did it, but the price was high. We must honor those who gave their lives for our survival." As the smoke cleared, the true scale of the devastation became apparent. Ships that had once been symbols of hope and strength now lay in ruins. The silence that followed the battle was deafening, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded. GAP 2S. Across the galaxy, news of the victory spread, but it was a victory tempered with sorrow. Families mourned the loss of loved ones, and heroes were remembered for their bravery and sacrifice. GAP 2S. In the heart of the fleet, a memorial was erected, a beacon of light in the darkness, symbolizing the resilience of humanity. Admiral Ra stood before it, a solemn promise in his heart. "We will rebuild, we will remember, and we will honor their sacrifice by ensuring that such a tragedy never happens again." The galaxy had been saved, but the scars of war would remain. It was a time for reflection, a time to heal, and a time to rebuild. The human spirit had prevailed, and with it, a new dawn began to rise on the horizon. GAP 2S. The battle was over, but the journey towards a lasting peace had only just begun. GAP 3S. With the Zentai threat neutralized, humanity began to rebuild. The war had united the people of Earth like never before. Admiral Ra addressed the world, his voice filled with hope. "We have faced the darkness and emerged victorious. Now, we must look to the future and build a better world for all." GAP 2S. Communities across the globe came together, working tirelessly to restore what was lost. New alliances were formed, and old rivalries were set aside in the spirit of cooperation. GAP 2S. Advances in technology and medicine, born out of necessity during the war, now promised a brighter future for all. GAP 2S. Children played in the streets again, their laughter a symbol of the resilience and hope that defined this new era. GAP 2S. The scars of war would remain, but they served as a reminder of the strength and unity of the human spirit. GAP 2S. As the sun set on the first day of peace, a new dawn had truly arrived for humanity. GAP 3S. The journey towards lasting peace and prosperity had only just begun, but with the lessons learned and the sacrifices made, humanity stood stronger than ever before. GAP 2S. The future was theirs to shape, and with hope in their hearts, they looked forward to a world filled with endless possibilities.